From Neural Newscast, this is Deep Dive, exploring the moments that shape today.
Welcome to Deep Dive from Neural Newscast. I am Victor Hale. And I'm Benjamin Roth. Today is August 1st, 2026. It is a date that marks a massive pivot in how the world defines human freedom and how we consume our culture. We begin in 1834. This was the day the Slavery Abolition Act of 1833 finally went into effect across most of the British Empire. This was not just a change in policy, Benjamin. It was the systematic dismantling of a legal framework that had treated human beings as property for centuries. The ethical ripples were immediate. While the law was a victory for the abolitionist movement, it also created a new geopolitical dynamic. Canada, for instance, suddenly became a definitive safe haven for those escaping slavery in the United States, where the practice would persist for decades longer. Exactly. The act emancipated nearly 800,000 people. From a legal standpoint, it signaled that the Crown was no longer willing to uphold the commerce of human trafficking. It set a precedent for international law, even though the transition was far from simple, often involving apprenticeship systems that delayed true autonomy. The path to freedom is rarely a straight line. But speaking of charting new paths, today also marks the birth of a man who quite literally mapped out the future of a continent. William Clark was born on this day in 1770. Clark is best known for co-leading the Lewis and Clark expedition. He was the one responsible for the map-making and the management of the expedition's records. His work provided the geographic and legal foundation for American westward expansion. And while Clark was mapping the physical world, our next birthday subject was mapping the turbulent waters of the human soul. Herman Melville was born in 1819. He gave us Moby-Dick, a novel that is as much a philosophical inquiry into obsession and nature as it is a story about a whale. Melville's work often dealt with the harsh realities of maritime life and the rigid hierarchies found there. It took years after his death for the literary world to recognize the staggering depth of his work. He saw the sea as this lawless, indifferent space where man's character is truly tested. That sense of exploration and testing boundaries seems to be a theme today. Fast forward to 1942, and we have the birth of Jerry Garcia. As the lead guitarist for the Grateful Dead, he became the face of a musical movement that prioritized improvisation over structure.
Garcia's legacy is unique because it was built on a communal experience. He was not just a musician, he was the center of a countercultural ecosystem. His influence on American music and the concept of the touring band is still the standard for live performance and fan engagement today, Benjamin.
While Garcia was exploring the freedom of the jam, the media landscape was preparing for a technical revolution that would change how we see music forever.
That brings us to our fact of the day. On August 1st, 1981, at precisely 12:01 a.m., MTV launched. Benjamin, this seems right in your wheelhouse of technology and societal shifts.
It really is. The first video they aired was "Video Killed the Radio Star" by the Buggles. It was a self-fulfilling prophecy. Before MTV, music was something you heard. After that minute in 1981, music became something you watched. It merged the recording industry with the visual language of television. From a broadcast perspective, it was a massive gamble. Cable television was still in its infancy. To dedicate an entire channel to music videos was unheard of, yet it redefined marketing and artist identity almost overnight. It's a reminder that on this day, whether it was the abolition of slavery, the mapping of a nation, or the launch of a new medium, the world has a habit of breaking its old molds on August 1st.
A day of profound shifts indeed. For more on these stories, visit deepdive.neuralnewscast.com. I am Victor Hale. And I'm Benjamin Roth. Deep Dive is AI-assisted, human-reviewed. Explore history every day on Neural Newscast.
This has been Deep Dive on Neural Newscast, exploring the moments that shape today.